It's March 23rd, 2012. My youngest daughter's birthday is tomorrow. I believe she'll be 22 because she was born in 90 and it's 2012. She's going to be married in June. And nice guy. Both my daughters picked some pretty excellent young men, as far as I could tell. So I've been thinking about participating in her wedding and if she would have me participate. I guess being invited is a boon in itself. My older daughter, her older sister, chose to have my father walk her down the aisle, and he was beaming, as was she, however stressed she may have been on her great day. So I've been thinking, because I made quite a fool of myself so many times, and trying to bring the deepest, most real aspects of myself to the surface is quite an adventure, and filled with pitfalls and foibles all through. However, what else is there greater to do in time? In fact, as far as time goes, I've got to get something. In my studies, one of the greatest teachers that I've had in my life that helped inspire me to my studies were women. And in my studies I came across some sayings. Woman is time while man does time. Woman is history while man makes history. Woman is while man does. And trying to have realized understanding, trying to wrap my mind around these concepts, has been quite an adventure. So people can make a statement, and if I have the time and the energy, can take me on a great adventure. I had a great talk with my parents a couple days ago. We went out to lunch, and I got to share with my mother and ask her what she felt about my perspective on Dorothy Sayers' concepts of Dante in her introduction to Purgatorio, where I elaborated on it and said, you know, man, his maturation process, his process in maturity, is in his ability to consciously choose to will himself to respond gentlemanly. Whereas the woman has her maturation process as well. She has to grow and change and develop into a mature woman. And I found, reading through the lines and understanding Dante's general perspective, that woman needs to mature to the point where she can be gracefully merciful in her forgiving towards man. One woman being a representative of time, she's rooted in time. She is time, while man makes time. Man makes history. Historical events occur out of his consciously willed choice. So woman's consciously willed choice is one that is in relationship to her being rooted in the moment, in time, in the practicalities of life. And Dorothy Sayers made it clear that, man romanticizes woman, turns her into this metaphysical being, this incredible, wondrous being. And she is really not concerned with the metaphysics so much as the practicalities. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. Go make some money. Bring home the bacon. And it takes a woman of some grace and mercy and forgiveness to be able to transcend the surface immediacies and necessities and see the larger picture. And I think this is a flowering and a fruit of a well-lived life where we come to terms with this. An Auseinandersetzung, a coming to terms with that even though the necessities of time are fixed and set fast in the moment and cannot be changed, we can be inspired by something eternal, something not rooted in time or the concerns of time, but rather accustomed to eternity. And as most of my ideas evolve through a process, I see it, it moves me. I experience something in time, and it takes a few days, sometimes a few weeks, sometimes a few months. It's sort of like my dreams. I can dream of something that will happen between 2 and 4 years in the future. A friend came over yesterday and mentioned remote viewing, and I was today listening to a song that I've heard on PBS. Last week they were playing a concert by this guy, what's his name? John Bonamassa, Mountain Time. And it moved me. And as I was thinking about doing this, I realized what it was that moved me about the song, because I related it to other songs. There was Moonlight Lady by The Firm, which I feel was Jimmy Page's response in some ways to his work in Led Zeppelin of Stairway to Heaven. And this song relates to that. It's a love ballad to a woman. John Bonamassa's song, Mountain Time. And I find it very interesting that it's called Mountain Time, because the woman, as he travels to her, he leaves city time and moves to mountain time. And the main difference is the female. I think that's interesting to what I was saying earlier. And I realized the song is epochal. Recently I've been studying up on epics and what do the epics have to do with. And Goethe's Faust, written in the 1700s, was an epic. The Eddas, written by the Vikings, were an epic. The Dante's Inferno is an epic. Homer and Virgil's Odyssey, Aeneid and Iliad are epics. Now, what I realized was it's an epochal consciousness that recognizes this. It's an epoch. The epic is based on the epoch. The epoch is a moment in time. It's like a season. And the epochal consciousness is someone that is attuned to recognizing that something is culminating, coming to fruit, to bear fruit. It's the fruit has been born, and a great change is coming. And in my studies, affirm this. The epics arise when the civilization, as far as my studies go, when the civilization comes to an end of its flowering season. And I find this all very interesting because it's all affirmative of process and continual growth. And when it comes to woman in this song, it is an idea that when we come to the end, what is the thing that inspires us to go on? And if it be love, then we affirm life. And even though it's full of turmoil, we're affirming life